Hi everyone. What is a product manager and what is a product owner and what is the difference between the two? In fact, you might be interested in these two roles because the salaries are quite good for both, with a product manager earning between $272,000 and $326,000 a year. In fact, much more, for example, in the early days of Facebook, as they got stock and bonus considerations as well. But for a product owner, the average salary of $107,000 a year is also quite good. But what do they do and what is the difference between the two? Well, both of them have been referred to as the CEO of the product, which means they fit neatly in the center of these three sections: user experience, making sure that we have a good user experience for our product; technology, making sure we understand the technology and can make good decisions with our engineering teams; and the business, also making sure we're making good decisions to increase revenue or decrease costs, increasing customer acquisition and growth. In fact, Sheriff Mansour has spent 16 years as a product manager at Atlassian. Atlassian, you may know from the makers of Jira, which is a very large agile company. And he describes a product manager as someone who drives the development of a product, defines its strategy, and then defines its roadmap and its features. But what does that look like on a day-to-day basis? Well, this means a product manager will have to identify and understand user needs, understand and represent the business objectives at the same time, and then monitor the market and develop competitive analyses to make sure the product is going in the right direction. Then they can define a vision and a strategy for the product, align their stakeholders and team to deliver on that product and turn it into a reality, then prioritize product features and capabilities in order to deliver on that strategy that they created to respond to the market. Now, funnily enough, a product owner is described in almost exactly the same way, but one of the key differences is a product owner comes primarily from Agile and Scrum, so you'll see them in Agile teams. But in the Scrum Guide, they are described as accountable for maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the Scrum team. Now, what does that look like? They develop and communicate the product goal. That's their strategy and their vision, just like a product manager. They create and communicate product backlog items and prioritize those items to maximize value. Those are those features that we're prioritizing for our team to deliver on that product strategy. Another way to look at this is a product owner will typically have one project or one team to look after to increase their product, but a product manager might have multiple projects or multiple teams. They're more like a program manager in that way, and that's where the pay difference comes in. But of course, they might be described or shown differently in different organizations. And now you know the differences between a product manager and a product owner, their salaries, their ways of working, and a whole bunch of wonderful stuff. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.